Hi, I'm Keiko, the instructor of presentation skills for researchers. Do you ever give team presentations at conferences or at work? If you do, there are some phrases that will be useful to know. These are the phrases to introduce your team members to the audience, transition from one speaker to the next, and announce who will take which question in a Q&A session. Let's get started. At the beginning of a speech, you introduce yourself to the audience. If you want to know how to introduce yourself in a presentation in detail, please watch the second video in the series, How to Introduce Yourself in a Presentation. In a team presentation, there are two ways to introduce yourself and your team members. One is each of the presenters introduces themselves. The other way is one main presenter introduces everyone. If each of the presenters contributed to the research equally, each of you should introduce yourself like this. Hi, I'm Keiko from the Rainbow Institute. I specialize in deep sea biology. And I'm Kevin from Marugame University. My research interests are ecosystem dynamics and conservation ecology. But if you are the main presenter and the other presenters are there to assist you, you can introduce them as well. Like, hi, my name is Keiko Schleibach from the Rainbow Institute. I'm here today with my colleagues, Jennifer Lee and Ken Takahashi. You know, when you speak, you should be engaging and confident. But what if someone introduces you to the audience on your behalf? How should you act during that introduction? You should still look confident while they're introducing you. Don't look down and look nervous. Have a good posture facing the audience, make eye contact, and smile. Another thing you have to consider in a team presentation is transitions, moving from one section to the next. If you have been presenting and you are transitioning to your co-presenter's part, use this format for a smooth transition. Summary of your part plus the name of your co-presenter and the overview of their part. So for example, I've explained the research background and the method. Now my colleague Sarah will show you the results and implications. We have looked at the problems of the traditional approach. I will now hand over to Ko, who will introduce you to the new approach. This format will help your audience follow your speech easily and transition from one part to the next smoothly. If your co-presenter presented first and handed over to you, use this format to move on. Thank you, the name of the presenter, plus the overview of your part. For example, thank you, Dr. Nakamura. Now I'd like to show you the data obtained from the research. Thanks, Jen. In the next section of the presentation, I will walk you through the steps for completing the survey. If you followed the format I showed you, your co-presenter gave an overview of your part in the transition. When you give an overview, instead of repeating the same thing, try using different words or paraphrase. Smooth transitions are important in presentations. When you go from one presenter to the next, things can look unorganized and chaotic. But by using these clear transitional phrases, you can create smooth transitions and help your audience follow your speech without any disturbance. The last thing I want to mention is how to handle a Q&A session in a team presentation. When a member of the audience asks a question, the presenter who is the most knowledgeable about the subject, or whoever is the most comfortable talking about it, should respond. If you want to answer the question, look at your co-presenters and say, "I'll take this one. I can answer that. May I?" If you think your co-presenter will be a good person to respond, or if you want to give your co-presenter a chance to speak up, you can urge them to do so by saying, "Caroline, do you want to take this one?" "Dr. Murphy, would you like to answer that?" The key is to make it clear who will answer the question before you start answering the question. Otherwise, all of you might start saying something all at once, or nobody might say anything. Then it'll be a little awkward. By using these phrases, you can avoid these situations and make it clear who is speaking for yourselves and also for your audience. When you give a team presentation, you might be concerned about your own part and nothing else. But there are little things that will improve the overall impact of your team presentation. And they are knowing how to introduce your co-presenters, transition from one speaker to the next, and announce who will take which questions in a Q&A session. Practice the phrases I've shown you today so you can make an effective team presentation. Thank you for watching the video. See you next time.